ever PoetryBox post. To kick off our brand new series of poetry videos, we thought we'd start with looking at what poetry is all about. What is poetry?
In the real world, I don't think we really need to give poetry a definition. It's a freedom of expression without the constraint of rules.
Okay, I do agree with that. Unfortunately, these kids have got exams to pass, so we're going to have to find something more concrete than that. You're right, there are no rules as such, but there are techniques that poets use to get their ideas across. And if we know what these are, it helps us to understand what the poet is trying to convey.
And my English teacher always used to say, you've got to know the rules before you can break them.
Oh, I love that. High five me. Exactly. Well, let's begin with a reliable source, the Oxford English Dictionary. It reads, "A poem is a literary work in which the expression of feelings and ideas is given intensity by the use of distinctive style and rhythm."
You've gone all posh.
I know, I'm sorry. It needed it.
Yeah, but actually, I get what they're trying to say there.
Do you?
Yeah, because I've been watching the news a lot recently. There's been lots of really, really horrific things happening in the last few months. And though that really intense feeling I had, I needed to put it somewhere. I needed to do something with it. And poetry was the ideal medium because it's a brilliant way to, get all that raw emotion down.
There you go. You've hit the nail on the head. Metaphorically, it's about using poetry to get your ideas and feelings across. Now, I'm all for using dictionary definitions, but we need to break this down for the students. What does this definition actually mean?
So poetry is a literary work. Sorry, just borrowing your posh voice there for a second. And this basically means something that is written down or recorded.
Recorded. So you mean like we record ourselves in a selfie, to capture that special moment. To capture that feeling of being happy or proud. Maybe we were scared at the time or maybe even anxious. But we want to record that feeling.
Poetry does just that. It takes a snapshot of a moment in time. It describes an emotion and it provokes a comment.
Oh, I'm loving this metaphor right now. You're saying that poetry is like a camera. And it has many functions. For example, it can use a zoom lens to home in on the smallest detail.
Or it can use a wide-angle lens to focus on the bigger picture.
And it can also use soft focus to blur the edges.
Although I always think a poem makes more sense when you hear it out loud rather than just seeing it on the paper, because then you can hear how the rhythm works. It's as much about sound as it is about how it looks on the page.
So what are you trying to say then?
Well, it's an expression of feelings and emotions, right?
Yes. It's about using words in new ways, playing with the rhythm, perhaps the shape of words and your phrases, yeah?
Yeah, and I came across a poem recently I thought I'd read to you and then you can tell me what you think.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where to begin. So I'll start by saying I refuse to forget you. I refuse to be silenced. I refuse to neglect you. That's for every last soul up in Grenfell, even though I've never even met you. That could have been my mum's house, or that could have been my nephew. That could have been me up there, waving my white plain tee up there, or my friends on the ground trying to see up there. I just hope that you rest and you're free up there. I can't feel your pain, but it's still what it is. Went to the block just to chill with the kids. Troubled waters came running past. I'ma be right there just to build you a bridge. So, what do you think?
Oh, wow, that touched me. That was a lovely poem. Really contemporary, really poignant for what's going on in the world today. I really like those raw emotions that you can sense and that intense feeling the poet gives. After all that talking, I think I need to lie down.
Let's regroup in video 2, shall we?
Okay, let's do that. High five. Great work.
So you like it?
That's funny.